Hey, you guys, it is Latrice, and I'm back again with another episode here on the Lift Her Up podcast. If you've been listening for a while, welcome back. And if you are a first time listener or recently subscribed and followed, just welcome. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to have you here. Join me on this journey. There's been an influx of subscribers and followers, and I am so appreciative and grateful to you all. So, again, just make sure you are following, you're leaving comments, and that you're sharing with your friends. Okay. Thank y'all again. So, today's episode, I wanted to do a sort of rewind and introduction, I should say, into what Lift Her Up is and how it came to be for me in my life, what it started as, and what it's grown into are completely different things. It was definitely unexpected for me and for sure a God thing. So it's kind of like a testimony mixed in there and just some background about me and my life, and also what I hope to do with Lift Her Up, and what its mission is pretty much. So I'm going to talk about that. So I want to start by saying Lift Her Up started off as a blog, so writing. But the pre-concept came in about 2018, I'm going to say, which is ironically, not really ironically, this is the Lord's timing, was also the year I got saved, right? So in 2018, I felt an inkling and unction, obviously not at that time, not realizing that it was the Lord's doing, that it was the Holy Spirit that was inspiring me to come up with this concept. But I had this idea that sort of came out of nowhere to start a blog. But at the time, I had no idea what I wanted it to be about. Actually, I was going through my phone a few minutes ago, like going through different text messages, because if you have like a iPhone, you can put in different keywords and pull up different text messages. So from like June 2018, I'm looking at these old messages to my boyfriend saying like, I think I want to start a blog, and I think I want it to be, I don't know, about like hair or something, or maybe like life. I don't know. And knowing good and well that I don't really know anything about doing no hair, like not really. Like I've been natural for years, but not not well enough to like actually teach people how to maintain their healthy hair. That's just not my ministry, and it never was. So I don't know why I was thinking that, but I just had this feeling that I wanted to create a blog. That's it. So that idea got pushed back, and I procrastinated on it because I was waiting for, okay, well, what is this going to be about? Because I didn't believe that I really had any knowledge or insight that people would want to listen to or, read about or anything. I was still in the mindset of, I have nothing to offer people. So why are people going to read my words? What am I even talking about? Like, what is that? So that was in 2018. The summer of 2018 is when I like got that idea, and I procrastinated on it. I was waiting for God to fill in the blanks pretty much at that point. And moving forward, so that was 2018. 2019 was the year where I really got the revelation that I needed a release and an outlet to encourage really myself, um and in hopes of encouraging other people as well. So 2019 was kind of like the start of a snowball of events for me personally. Obviously, going into 2020, the pandemic and everything started, but personally in my life, I was dealing with just a lot of craziness, with family and with my identity and with my job, my career. I was in graduate school at the time as well. Um, and I was just still getting to know the Lord. And it was just a very uncomfortable time. I didn't quite know who I was still. I was second guessing my identity in the Lord and all those things. And I felt like I was being an anchor for a lot of people. I was providing stability for a lot of people, and I was not getting replenished. Needless to say, my cup was very empty because I was consistently giving away and pouring into other people and having people just strip me of my time and my resource. Again, at the moment, things I didn't even realize I really had. I didn't understand the worth of my time and my resource at the time. And I was just trying to really just stay above water. I was making sure I was going to church avidly. I started to serve more diligently in my church and foster that community that I was becoming a part of. Again, just growing more in the Lord. And thank God for community, because during that time, it was so many different things that happened. I was battling all this anxiety and depression at work. And I'm thankful for the people that are in my life, because it took them holding a mirror up to me saying, hey, we don't like what we're seeing from you. You need to go and figure this out, or like you need to release this. You need to let all of this go, let all of this out. So I remember specifically a conversation I had with my cousin towards the end of 2019, I believe. And she was really stressing to me about her not wanting me to be resentful in life, for me to not have like health issues because of like the worry and the anxiety that she could obviously tell I was carrying. She didn't want me to have like health problems in the future and things like that. Like she could visibly see it on me. And I was so thankful to her for that conversation. She probably doesn't even know that helped to trickle into to lift her up. I don't even think I've ever shared that story with her, but she called me at a very it was really perfect timing. It was definitely God's divine timing all over that situation, because she was just like, you can't stay here where you are. Things have to change in order for you to get better. And that was that conversation, and I promised her that I would deal with it, that I would check in with her more regularly, which I did, and that I would seek help. And that very same evening, I got a call from an old friend that I grew up with, and she was just telling me some issues she was having with her family, with her mom at the time, and she was in a bad place, and she was talking to me, and she was crying, and everything that my cousin gave to me, all the pouring into me that she gave to me, I was able to then give it to my friend. I was able to then speak into her after I had been spoken into. And that evening, I cried to the Lord and I prayed, and it just felt so good. Like it was just like a release that I needed in that moment. And I was like, I want to continue to do that for people. I was taken out of a place, like I was lifted up, and then in return, like I helped to lift up another woman at the time. So that's kind of where the idea of lift her up came from. It's like, if I don't have what I needed at the moment, then somebody else around me should have it and can help pull me up from a place that I can't get out of. And then she can help pull up somebody else. So it's that place to inspire, uplift, and encourage. So that's where the idea kind of started to formulate even more in 2019. And 2020 came, and I was, throughout this whole story, I was still hesitant with the whole blog thing, but I knew for sure at that time that I was going to do it. So 2020 came, and I started to really make some changes in my life to like my spiritual and mental health for those purposes. So I started going to therapy, and I never really said that out loud to anyone on, not even on camera, not even personally, but I started my mental health journey. And it helped me to see like, oh, like I do have something to offer, like this would be a good way for me to get out there and to express myself and to really like take God up on his word. If he says he wants to use me, I have to believe that he is going to use me. I don't know the fullness of it, but I'm more willing now to give it a try. So after starting that mental health journey and my path to healing and trying to recover, I officially launched Lift Her Up blog in February of 2020. Now, I launched this blog and I ain't tell nobody about it. Like, the only person that knew was Antoine and my therapist, probably. Yeah. So I was one of those secretly blessed people, like secretly gifted people. I didn't want nobody to know. And it was really because I was scared of public opinion, like that fear of man, right? Um, and it took me a while to come around from that. I actually had to be forced into the light to reveal myself. So I launched it in February of 2020. Obviously, the world shut down March of that year, which gave me a lot of more time to write and dedicate to the blog. So thankful for that, although it was crazy circumstances, right? And towards the summer, I was still contributing to the blog. I was making regular posts. Again, nobody knew about this. Nobody knew about this, but my boyfriend and like my therapist. So I was outed by by a friend at church, in front of my pastor and his wife. And if you know them, then you already know. But my pastor don't take too kindly to hidden talent. Okay, it just he is meant to disturb every gift and atmosphere that he goes into. But they challenged me in that conversation to openly confess that I had this blog and that the Lord had given me this gift of writing. So that was during the summer, I think like June of 2020, around that time. So I officially did, like, I think it was just this random video that I posted, and I was like, hey guys, Facebook fam, I got this blog, go ahead and check it out. It was very timid. It was very scary. Honestly, like I look back at the video and I'm like, why did I post that like that? That is terrifying. And I look sad. Like, and I kind of was sad to post it. Honestly, I really was. I was scared to do it. I was scared of what everybody was going to say. But the moment I posted it, there was so much amazing feedback. And I was like, yo, like, this is not the outcome that I expected at all. So it kind of like turned into this whole thing. And then I had a lot more supporters within like my local community that knew about my blog. And I was able to share my words on an actual more public platform. So that happened. And then I came up with the newsletter idea. So I released the Freedom Friday newsletter on the first Friday of each month. The Lord had downloaded that to me of like having a theme to focus on for the next month, and to share that with people, or to share what I had learned in the last month, or what I would be hoping for or praying for, or just like a topic and idea that he gave me to kind of like hone in on for the month. So I started doing that in I believe October of 2020, and I just had more and more people start to subscribe to the blog, and to get that newsletter, and the comments would roll in and things like that. And I've been doing that since 2020 officially. So officially came public like summer, fall 2020 with Lift Her Up blog. And here we are in 2023. My God, I was about to say 2022. It's 2023 now. It's February 2023. So technically it's been 3 years since my blog was published. And since then, the Lord has just opened up this huge umbrella for Lift Her Up. And I am so thankful for that. it's gone to, I couldn't even imagine, honestly, and it's literally living in Ephesians 3:20, okay? Exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask, think, dream, imagine, all those things. Because it started as this simple concept and it's grown into this whole thing. Like I'd never wanted to be on video. If you know me, you know I hate this. Like I didn't think I was creative, and yet somehow the Lord has used me to write all these words, like thousands and thousands of words, and to then take my writing to another level with writing these books and then submitting my work to different magazines and other outlets and stuff so it can get across to other people, and joining these different writing groups and stuff. Like I truly didn't think that I was a creative person. I didn't think I was a fascinating person. Like interesting that people would want to even listen to anything I had to say, or even like read my words, like not even just look at me on camera, but even to read anything that that I may think or post. And the Lord has showed out. He really has. And Lift Her Up has grown into this whole thing. So I'm on YouTube and I'm podcasting now. The blog site itself, the Lord is having me to restructure what Lift Her Up is, because I'm growing. the me like Latrice, I am growing, and the things that I do are going to have to grow with that as well. Lift Her Up is never going to be done. Like it's never going to end, I should say. At least I don't see it ending anytime soon. But the Lord is having me restructure how I do it, because as I grow personally, you know, business wise and branding, all those things are going to have to follow suit behind that. And there's just so much going on, and I can't wait to see where it takes me next. But I hope that gives some insight to more of who Latrice is, what Lift Her Up is. I am Lift Her Up, but you are Lift Her Up too, because I wouldn't be here without all of your amazing support. There are people that have been holding me down for a long time, and they always ask me about my writing, and they always bring up these blogs, and I'm just so encouraged. I'm really so encouraged. It keeps growing, and I don't know where the Lord is taking it, but I am excited to find out. I am anxious to find out what He plans to do with it. And yeah, again, Lift Her Up is just a space I had to get to remember that I have a community that loves me, cares about me, and to remind other women that they have that too. So we're here to encourage one another, to uplift one another, and to inspire one another. And I hope that's what this video has done for you. I hope that's what this channel does. And obviously, of course, I always want it to glorify God. So thank y'all again. And remember to stay encouraged. Remember to help out your fellow friend, your fellow comrade. You never know who's going to need it, because we go through stuff and we never know who's going to need the things that we go through. So until next time, y'all remember to stay encouraged. All right. Bye.